Spend your money on the things money can buy. Spend your time on the things money can't buy. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. He that is good at making excuses is seldom good at anything else. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. If we command our wealth, we shall be rich and free. If our wealth commands us, we are indeed poor. Learn as if you constantly feel you lack your knowledge, and as if you are constantly afraid of losing your knowledge. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Circumstances make man, not man circumstances. The only thing that makes a marriage unhappy is not a lack of love, it's a lack of friendship. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. The right question is usually more important than the right answer. All cruelty springs from weakness. What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others in the world remains and is immortal. How much we suffered because of what did not happen, but could only happen. Lend money in front of witnesses. Give money without them. The one who offends you takes away your negative energy and gives you his positive energy. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Here is a rule to remember in future when anything tempts you to feel bitter. Not, this is misfortune, but to bear this worthily is good fortune. Better a broken promise than none at all. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal, and as though you were scared of missing it. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn. You cannot open a book without learning something. What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. A comfort zone is a wonderful place, but nothing ever grows there. If someone wants to offend you greatly, then it is even worse for him. Let no one be slow to seek wisdom when he is young, nor weary in the search of it when he has grown old. For no age is too early or too late for the health of the soul. Whoever does wrong, wrongs himself. Whoever does injustice, does it to himself, making himself evil. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. Silence is not at all a sign of callousness. Only what is empty on the inside rattles. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The misfortune of the wise is better than the prosperity of the fool. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. When you feel discouraged, seek healing in labor. Watch for big problems. They disguise big opportunities. Worry not that no one knows you. Seek to be worth knowing. Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. So far, you've survived 100% of your bad days. This too shall pass. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. If thou wilt make a man happy, add not unto his riches, but take away from his desires. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. The best way to become poor is finding a job that will suck the life out of you. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. The man who is a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. The first man gets the oyster. The second man gets the shell. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. Whatever a man's age, he can reduce it by several years by putting a bright-colored flower in his buttonhole. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river if he's not the same man. Confine yourself to the present. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. You make mistakes. Mistakes don't make you. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Those who aim at great deeds must also suffer greatly. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. When in doubt, tell the truth. The intelligent person avoids 3 things in life: in youth, lust; in maturity, arrogance; in old age, greed. Do not lend money to relatives, because you will lose both. It is not so much our friends' help that helps us, as the confidence of their help. Humans have come into being for the sake of each other, so either teach them or learn to bear them. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to force others to. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind, repugnant to reason and against nature. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life.